It's finally summer, guys. We finally made it to 25 degrees plus in London, and I am so excited and happy. My mood has skyrocketed. If you've clicked on this video, then you know this is going to be my summer wish list. Another product recommendation video, but we don't fuck with consumerism here. It's more about sharing the vibe and the essence behind wanting these things rather than acquiring these particular things. There's always an accessible way to achieve what it is that you want, and that's the way I'm approaching these product recommendation videos. So without further ado, let's get into my summer wish list. First things first, we're gonna start with bags. There's this accessory and bag brand from South Korea called Hyeta. The whole vibe is cool, effortless, and sexy. The brand name Hyeta is inspired by this Korean term, I believe, called fine sands on the beach. And I'm not too well versed on the cultural significance of the name, but I know that it's an everyday style, staple type of vibe. The thing that I want from them is this bag called the Masha bag. I'm a big bag girly. As a Virgo, I need to carry my entire life in my bag. I'm always prepared. I'm always the person that has something that somebody needs. So I was actually today years old. Well, I was a few days ago years old when I realized that Stella McCartney is Paul McCartney's daughter. And fun fact, when I was a waitress / bartender at Abbey Road Studios, I actually met Paul McCartney and he was really lovely. I mistook him for Rod Stewart, which is a bit awkward, but yeah. The iconic Falabella tote bag, specifically the chain one in like a silvery tone, it just gives me the same vibe that I get from like All Saints. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to reduce the vibe of the bag or the vision behind the bag, but I think there's something so cool about metal and leather together. And I love muted earth tones, like whether it's a stony grey or a black or a greyish black or a charcoaly kind of dusty colour, like a stone bathroom. I feel like the bag reminds me of that. I'm also huge on silver tones, and everyone's loving the pearl or silvery seashell iridescent vibe, and I think that's a really cute color palette that I'm like leaning towards as well. Last thing on my list of bags is the Amy Shihab giant black leather bag. If I'm looking down, it's because I have notes written on my laptop. When I saw this bag on her sister, I believe's TikTok, I was instantly moved. Honestly, I feel like this bag can second as a travel bag, but I wouldn't even really want to wear it as a travel bag. I think I'd have it accompany me with my luggage. Anyway, it's gorgeous. It almost feels like you can sit in the bag, but there's just something so chic and simple about it that it just like beats the Birkin for me. It's sold out, so Amy Shab, if you want to send me the bag, I would love that. But if I had it, I feel like it would be my Birkin. I was like watching a TikTok for this stylist that I really enjoy their content, and she was basically asking everyone like, what is your Manolo? And it had me thinking, what is my Manolo? But then also like using these kind of terms to describe a staple piece in your wardrobe is quite fun as well. So what is your Manolo, guys? What is your Birkin? Because I think what everybody loves about the Birkin is the fact that Jane always seemed to carry around something that seemed like a staple, and I think that's way more iconic than just like buying into whatever's hot right now. Anyway, yeah. The thing on my wish list is so predictable. I always tell people that I'm a huge copycat. I'm not immune to trends and to being influenced, and I think my surrender to that is what makes my style so unique, which is quite ironic and annoying to say. But anyway, the woodchuck Sato tabbies, I definitely want a pair. I haven't made the purchase yet because I want to do it when it feels serendipitous. Am I the only one that gets like that? Like, I want to purchase something when it feels serendipitous. I always like to purchase something with an idea on how I would style it before I purchase it. Also, it's time for an elevated flat. I always have a staple flat that I am obsessed with. My staple flat last year was the multi-buckle knee-high length dolly shoes. I love them. I still have them, but I need to take them to the cobbler. But it's time for me to have another elevated flat that I wear. The shoe right now that I'm wearing the most are my mesh flats, my black mesh flats. I'm not proud to say that they are from Shein because we don't really support Shein here, but so many people have asked me where I got it from, and I can't gatekeep it as much as I would like to protect my pride. But yeah, I've been wearing these shoes basically every day, and as the weather gets warmer, it's perfect. But it's time for me to have another elevated flat, I believe, because I think part of the reason why I ruin my shoes so much is because I pick a shoe and I just wear it down. I love that I wear my clothes and shoes so much, but I think I need to have like a roster of elevated everyday shoes. They have to be elevated for me, because if I'm gonna dress boringly, then the pieces have to not be boring, if that makes sense. Check out my video, niche things I find chic, where I talk about that in depth. I don't know why I've been floating around very like unique bridal pieces on Pinterest. Bridal fashion is so romantic to me, and I feel like it shouldn't just be reserved for weddings or if you're getting married. I think we should be allowed to dress that romantically for the sake of dressing romantically. And that brings me on to my next shoe. These black Victorian lace boots that I've come across on Etsy. They come in white and they come in black. I think they are stunning. I have a lot of Victorian influences in my current fashion sense. I just think the designs and the silhouettes are so intricate, particularly with this shoe. It reminds me of Violet Baudelaire, one of my favorite fictional characters. I can think of a million ways that I would style it, whether it be with cargo capris or a black flowing dress to evoke my inner Morticia/Wednesday Addams. There are no rules, guys, there are no rules, but these are stunning. I love them. And last but not least, in shoes, the Beehive ballet flats that I came across on the Apoc store. So me. I would specifically want the baggy ballet flat in a vintage brown. Look at them. They kind of remind me of the brand Desigual. I've been looking for green ballet flats and then I came across those. I just wanted like a plain lime green, like as a pop of color, an understated pop of color. But these are so beautiful. They just would go with everything in my wardrobe. Like, you know when something isn't black but you can wear it with everything? I think green is one of those colors if you get the right shade. I've had a few green pieces, whether it's jackets, coats, and my capris, that I've been able to just wear with absolutely everything, and they go with everything no matter what the color is. I feel like these flats would surprisingly be that. So yeah, walk, run, don't walk. Being so playful and like childlike about them without like trying to be childlike. I think if I had a daughter, I'd definitely get her and myself matching shoes. They're so cute, guys. Honestly, they are so cute. So now we're moving on from shoes and we're going into clothing and garments. Some of these things are just like a brand in general, because if I want everything that the shop is selling, that the brand is selling, then I'm just gonna talk about the brand. So in my video where I was talking about niche things that I found chic, one of the themes were share everything, and I think I found a brand that encapsulates exactly what I mean when I'm talking about like sheer clothing that just feels like second skin. Sea Vibe Design is this Etsy shop that I came across on Pinterest because I would always just see like a faceless model wearing the most beautiful sheer clothing that was flowy but somehow had such a clear structure, and honestly the name of the brand just completely encapsulates it. It feels like she's wearing the elements when she's like wearing these clothing. I want everything from that shop, everything. I feel like in the summer when it's just so hot and you just want to exist and wear something light, but you don't want to compromise style, I feel like one of the Sea Vibe Design garments paired with the ballet flats that I was just talking about would be Chef's Kiss. Guys, if I had an unlimited budget, that's all I'm gonna say. Next is this vintage dress shop, I believe. Follow them on TikTok, sorry. Farmer's Daughter. They just have the most beautiful romantic dresses, and like once again, I am very drawn to bridal wear, even if there's no wedding in sight. There's not even a boyfriend in sight, guys. I'm not getting married anytime soon. Actually, let me not jinx it. You never really know. Life changes really quickly. But anyway, I'm so here for wearing bridal adjacent clothing, just for the fun of it. And this brand, they just have the most beautiful dresses. I just don't want to think. There's just the reason why these two brands are so effortless is because you don't really have to think when you're wearing the clothes. You just have to slip it on. However, it just tells such a story and makes you look like such a character, and you'll stand out and blend in the exact same amount, and that's what I love. That's what I'm drawn to right now. So we have the Aloma Studios Renaissance inspired lace mini dress. I feel like this is such a cute take. It just gives me a little black dress vibes, and I feel like it's such a cute date night outfit, and I could definitely like see myself wearing heels with it, but also wearing it with boots and a leather jacket. And I could also see myself wearing it as a top because obviously it's that short. Aloma Studios is another brand that's just like really effortless, timeless, minimal, but like emotionally rich. And I don't know, I love the silver tone, I love the lace detailing, and I also just really like the name of the dress, Renaissance. I think anything that evokes literature or poetry or romance is just my thing. There's like endless ways you could style your hair and makeup with a dress like this. Yeah. Next thing that I'm gonna talk about, the last piece of clothing that I'm gonna talk about are these lacy cargo shorts from Sweet Chillings. I think what I like the most about this piece is not necessarily even the cargo, though if you're gonna go green, cargo is a safe color for me, but it's the structure of it. The fact that you have the little lace lingerie things peeking out. Layering clothing on top of one another is a way that you could achieve this look, but I really like that it's already made like that. And I could definitely see myself wearing it with like a really casual t-shirt. yeah, a really casual t-shirt. That's how I can see it. Or even a turtleneck if I want to go down this weird Lara Croft road. But there's something so tomboyish but sultry about it that I really enjoy. And it's definitely one of the trendier pieces in my favorites that I may not like next year, but I think I'm just really enjoying layering, and that's what I appreciate about this piece. And Sweet Chillings have been killing it recently with their whole runway show, so yeah. Now we're gonna move on to fragrances. The last thing on my summer wish list is Penhaligon's Portrait Bewitching Jasmine Eau de Parfum. I used to go like perfume shopping with a friend of mine, well, perfume window shopping with a friend of mine, because I really wanted to get into scents and just figuring out what scents that I love and what scents that I could make my signature. And we came across the Penhaligon store and we went inside, and these things are like 200, 300 pounds a pop. Like, it's actually aspirational at this point. But when I was with my agency, we were actually gifted some little Penhaligon, I don't even know what to call this. Is this a tester? Anyway, I still have them. I had about like 6 bottles of them in like different scents. But as I was scent shopping, the one that I fell in love with the most was the Portraits Bewitching Jasmine one, because there are just notes of my favorite scents: jasmine, vanilla, and oud. And it's so thick and musky, like it hangs off your clothes. And when I'm going for scents, I love to have an opulent scent. I love when you can just spray a little bit and it just hangs off you, like your aura almost has a scent. That is it for my summer wishlist video. I hope you enjoyed. I just want to say thank you so much for over 200 subscribers. It's truly refreshing just knowing that people like want to keep coming back and seeing what I have to share. I'm having so much fun. Until next time.